Okay, this is the equation solving with fractions homework. I'm going to go to the second problem. It says solve each of the following. So I still like to put my line down the middle, and I'm going to say this is 1/3 times x. So to get x by itself, the opposite of multiplying would be to divide. So if I divide on this side, I'm also going to divide on this side. But I'm going to put my 1/3 going left to right. So these 1/3 will reduce and I'll be left with x. And on this side I need to keep, change to multiplying, and flip, use the multiplicative inverse. Now I can look, can I reduce? No, I can't. So I'm going to multiply straight across the top and get 3, straight across the bottom and get 5. So this is my answer. I can't reduce. Now I'm going to do my check. So my check, I'm going to rewrite the original. 1/3 times x should be equal to 1/5. Now I'm going to substitute in my answer. 1/3 times 3/5 should equal 1/5. All right, I'm going to reduce on the diagonal. The 3's can go into 3 one time. I can't reduce this way, so now I'm going to multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1/5 equals 1/5, so those check. All right, now I'm going to go to the problem underneath. I'm going to draw my line again. Now before I solve anything, I need to change this into an improper fraction. So the way I do that is 5 times 1 plus 1. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 would be 6/5 x equals 3/5. Now it becomes a problem like I did up above. I know these are being multiplied together, so the inverse would be to divide by 6/5. Whatever I do on this side, I need to do on this side. Divide by 6/5. Okay, I know from our quizzes, I'm going to keep, change to multiplication, and flip to the multiplicative inverse. Now I'm going to look on my diagonals. 5 goes into 5 once. 3 goes into 3 once and into 6 twice. So now if I multiply across, I get 1. Multiply across the bottom, I get 2. So my x is 1/2. Now I need to check that. So I'm going to bring my check over here, rewrite my original. I'm going to keep it as 6/5 times x should be 3/5. So 6/5 times 1/2 should be 3/5. It's multiplication, so I don't flip. I'm just going to look on my diagonals, and these will reduce by 2. 2 goes into 2 once and into 6 3 times. So 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 1 is 5. So this side equals 3/5 and this side equals 3/5. So it checks. All right, remember it says there are more questions on the back. So I'm going to flip it over. Let's take a look at the first one. Let's go over to this side. Put my line down. X is being divided by 3/4. So the opposite would be to multiply by 3/4. Whatever I do on one side, I've got to do it to the other. Since this is a whole number, I'm going to put a 1 underneath it. These 3/4 will reduce, and I'll be left with x. Now I'm going to look on my diagonal. Can I reduce? No. Can I reduce? Well, I'm not really sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and multiply. So 75 times 3. 21, 22. So that gives me 225 over 1 times 4. So I get 225 over 4. So I'm not sure if that'll reduce because this is a 5 and this is a 4, so I can't reduce by 2, and the only other factor is 4. So if I try 4 into 225, doesn't work out evenly. So those aren't going to reduce. So I'm going to change this improper fraction to a mixed number. So to do that, I have to say, how many times does 4 go into 225? So 4 goes in 5 times. 4 goes into 25 6 times with a remainder of 1. So I get 56 and 1/4 for my answer. But I'm going to just double check. So to do my check, I'm going to use my improper fraction. So first I have to write x divided by 3/4 should be 75. Now I'm going to substitute in my improper. So 225 over 4 divided by 3/4 should be 75. I got to keep, change to multiplying, and flip. Should be 75. Well, I can see my 4's will reduce to 1. And then I'm not sure if 3 goes in, so I'm going to have to try 3 into 225. Well, it'll go in 7 times and 5 times. So actually, 3 is a factor. 3 goes in once, 3 goes in 75 times. So 75 times 1 is 75 over 1, which is 75. So it checks. All right, let's do one more of those together. I'm going to do the bottom right. Right now, G is being divided by 7/8, so I'm going to do the opposite and multiply by 7/8 on both sides. I'm going to put that 36 over 1, and then I'll be left with G equals, well, 8 and 36 share a common factor of 4. 4 goes into 8 2 times and into 36 9 times. So 9 times 7 is 63. 1 times 2 is 2. Now I have to change that improper to a mix. So 2 goes into 63 3 times, 1 time. So it goes in 31 times with a remainder of 1 out of 2. So now I'm going to do my check. So G divided by 7/8 should equal 36. So now I'm going to have to take my G. I'm going to use the improper one. 63 over 2 divided by 7/8 should be 36. So I'm going to have to keep, change, flip. I'm going to look on my diagonals. 2 goes into both. 7 goes into both. 9 times 4 is 36. 36 equals 36. Hopefully this will help you guys with a few of the problems.